At what point, because I said something the other day and I didn't realize I said it until I rewatched myself. And I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. At what point do we separate ourselves instead of trying to reparate ourselves? Just curious. I think that was a bar. We don't need reparations. We need separation. Do you realize that the reason why overwhelmingly black people are at the bottom when it comes to our socioeconomic status, when it comes to our networking status, when it comes to how it is that people stereotype us and our overcoming of those stereotypes as a result of the people that came before us that made it so bad for us to be able to walk through the door? I don't blame, honestly, hold on. I don't blame people for looking at me funny when I sit down at the restaurant in anticipation of me not tipping, even though this is an American culture. I don't blame them. You know why? Because every single server that I know, including the black ones, overwhelmingly women, some men, say that they know and that people fight not to take their tables because they already know that the overwhelming majority, not all, but the overwhelming majority of people are not going to tip. I don't blame people when I walk around in a hoodie, and I largely only am wearing a hoodie intentionally, knowing specifically where I'm going to go. And I'm very, very careful about not putting the hoodie on, depending on where it is that I'm operating, because I understand people's apprehension when they may see me walking down the street, because of the people that came before me in yesteryear have already given the impression to be aware or be very, very careful of this person. I'm very careful often at times to even speak first when I'm walking into the room. I initiate the conversation in order to disarm the people and letting them know, yes, I can speak proper English. And no, I don't smell like weed when I come in every single place that I go into, right? Including a professional environment, including a job interview. The last time that somebody sent me a message and they said, Anton, can you get me in? And I said, send me your resume. And then I put a few touches on it and I made some modifications, even though I told them to update their resume and they failed to do it. But we still had a formality and I had already set them up with the interview. So I had to make sure that their resume was done for them. And then when they came in, you know what they were smelling like? This is me throwing an alley-oop. Yo, fam, come get this $100,000. Throw it in the air. I'm Dwayne Wade. I'm about to throw you your LeBron pass, and they coming in and slamming it. Nope. They came in smelling like weed. Hair was unbrushed. Breath smelling like a piece of shit. And so they came in and they embarrassed me. And I made up in my mind that day that I'm no longer going to align myself with people based off of what it is that they look like or things that they can't control, but I'm going to substantiate how it is that I'm aligning with people based off of the direction that they're going in. It's not going to be off of color. It's going to be 100% based off of character. And that's why I rock out with the Bag Chasers. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. At what point do you realize that you are literally selling yourself at a discount rate? I'll give you an example. Let's bring it back to the money, all right? I'm going to break down what culture is and how it is that people see you as a nigga. Not a black person. They see you as a nigga. I'm going to help you out. A lot of y'all talk about redlining. Have you ever asked yourself the question as to why they look at it as redlining or why they started to assess the value of that property lower based off of the color of your skin? You think that they don't like you? That's not true. That's not true. In 2023, it ain't based off of that. It's a reason why they have to drive by the neighborhood multiple different times throughout the day, throughout the week, at night, just to make sure that they not getting sold a bag of goods that a lemon. They don't want a lemon. I'm going to break down to you from a business perspective why they look at you as inferior or less than. When I talk to people, for example, and they say, Anton, I want to get into information technology. And I say, oh, okay, cool. What part of information technology are you interested in? And they say, well, I want to be a software engineer or I want to be a cybersecurity professional. And I say, good job. I'm with that. Let me go through and break down exactly what it is that you need to do in order to be successful. This is what you want to do when you want to put together a 3-year plan and then a 5-year plan, and then you can work after the 2 years when you get your associate's degree in order to continue to have your job pay for your bachelor's degree once you start to get the other 2 years and you transfer so that you can remove the debt, and you could just go to community. And they say, no. What you talking about, Anton? What you talking about, Anton? I said, I thought you said you wanted to be a software engineer. Nah, I was thinking about this 3-week boot camp that I can go through. And then we can go ahead and try to get to that bag. Because I want to be where you at right now in 3 weeks. And I'll be like, now, can they get a job? Absolutely. Will they know anything? Is a possibility that they're going to get fired? Or are they really going to learn how to really code within 3 weeks? Probably not. Probably not. But let me tell you what happens from a corporate perspective when we see people that have no real work history, that have no understanding of what it is that they're going to do. We going to possibly have to train them and all of this stuff. Let me tell you what happens when you take a shortcut. You get a shortcut. No. You missed it. Slow it down. I just dissed you. Shout out to my dogs over there at the URL. You get a shortcut. When you take shortcuts, you get a short cut. You're the first person out the door. You're the one that's going to make the least amount of money when you come in. You just happy to be there, not even understanding that you're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. And it's the same situation that we sitting here having a conversation with about Ja Morant. The owners are looking forward to him fucking up. Are they going to kick him out of the league? Absolutely not. You know why? Because he's too talented. And when I see you, I'm looking at you right now. When I see you, when I see your son, fuck you. Because you already going to fuck up. We know what you going to do. We know that there are 6 dislikes on this live stream, and there's some dusties that's watching this right now. We know what you going to do, right? We know you going to fuck up. Let me talk to your son real quick. When I see your son, you know what I see? I see a dude that I'm not going to have to pay full rate because I know that he's not going to do what he need to do in order to be able to get there. I see a man that is incredibly talented, has all of the capability to be one of the great ones, can work himself all the way up into being at the top of corporate America, can be a superstar in anything that he wants to be. He can be an architect. He can be a cybersecurity professional. He can wind up becoming a CEO. And you do understand that most CEOs have a sales and an engineer background, right? But instead of that, what he has is somebody that's leading him, that's telling him that you have to take a shortcut in order to be successful. It's no reason for you to go to college. College doesn't mean anything, even though we've already understood statistically based that if you go to a STEM field, you're going to make significantly more, 7 figures more over your lifetime. And there's ways for you to be able to do it. I do review videos on how you can get the scholarships. I show you how it is that I did it in order for you to be successful. You literally can join the Patreon in order to align with people that can get you the grants. There's so many different ways to do it, but you want to take a shortcut. And so as a result, could you get there? Yes, you can. Will you get there? Strong possibility that you won't. You're going to go in, you're going to be a help desk professional. You're going to say you in IT, but you're not really making no money. And just because you are part of the information technology department, you feel like you got a career. So now you making $47,000 a year and you having conversations with me about how women are supposed to submit themselves to you and you supposed to have 2 kids with them and you got debt out your eyeballs. You went to school so that you can fuck on some chicks. You took a shortcut and instead of you going into a STEM field, you went into African American studies and now you expect to get reparations even though you have every ability and capability to be able to do what you're supposed to do every single day. And then the cycle continues and the cycle continues. And what you do is you pass along generational trauma, right? I don't even call it generational trauma. I call it generational curses. It's a curse. You passing it down from generation to generation. And as a result, the same way that they're going to get them a discount Ja Morant, they're going to get a discount you in real life. In every single thing that you do, you're never going to make what you're worth because of your inability to see the value in looking at things long term and stop skipping steps.